Hello guys, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantabulous day. So far, so good. So this is my story from 5Fs to graduation, my comeback story. Okay, so stay with me and let's go. So for those that don't know me, my name is Habayomi Wolabieni Torilua. So here's my story. I went to University of Olusegun Agagu, Ondo State. I studied applied microbiology, and it's actually a 5 years course, but I had to spend 6 years doing that. So in my story began in my third year in the university. That was 311 second semester. That's when I had five carryovers, five fake courses out of seven. I was devastated. I was depressed, anxiety, all these things. I felt them, and at one point I wasn't even sure if I would ever graduate, and here's where the acceptance and the turning point happened in my life. So by the time I reached my final year level, I had so many courses that I have to do and stuff like that. I met up with my head of department. I explained to him. I thought initially maybe I could find a way around it, not to have an extra year, but he told me the bitter truth that I'd have to wait for another, semester, meaning that I'm not going to graduate with my mates, basically. So I accepted it, and something inside of me, not knowing, but I just felt something inside of me was changing, right? And this is how I discovered Neville Goddard and how his teachings really changed my worldview and my world perception. So when I found Neville Goddard, I found is I was introduced. Uh, it was introduced to me by a friend, right? And some of that's when I started began to, you know, um, read his teachings, listen to his audiobooks and podcasts, and read his books and stuff like that. So one of his words that really shook me was when he said, "Live from the end and persist in your assumptions, and your assumptions will become an objective fact." What is he trying to say is that he's trying to let us know that if we assume, if we make an assumption about ourselves and we persist in that assumption will come to pass, regardless of whatsoever happens. And that statement, when I was reading his book, he said it multiple times in his book, he said it multiple times in his audiobooks, he said it multiple times everywhere. I didn't really understand the words, but when I began to breathe immensely and dig deeper and dive deeper also into his teachings, that's when he made it like that's when it hit me, and I realized that he's trying to let me know that if I visualize myself becoming a particular person, assuming myself that I am the person that I want to be, regardless of what is going on in my life currently or my circumstances or my situation, will vanish, and the assumption that I have about myself, that I believe myself to be who I said I am, will become an objective fact. So I started to visualize myself, just like, I started applying the teachings into my life. I started visualizing myself at that point that, every night before I go to bed, I'll visualize myself that I've already graduated. I visualize myself in a graduation cake gowns, having a good time celebrating with friends and family and stuff like that. So I practiced this every night before I slept, just like he said. And even though my logic denies it oftentimes, and which he also said in his teachings that when we have a visualization about ourselves or an assumption, our logic, sense of reasoning, we try to deny it, but we have to persist, and if we do so, what we desire will come to pass. So I started doing this over time because it's actually interesting that somebody talks something and you are experimenting that thing, and you are seeing it's like something like that is happening. So I was like, oh fuck. And at that time, I really needed to change my life because that was one of the lowest points in my life. So, um, Neville Goddard taught me that imagination creates reality. He says that imagination creates reality. And here's the comeback story. So I studied hard every night, because I don't want I don't want to come and redo any exam or anything again. I just want to pass this one and go my way. I don't care. So I started visualizing myself every single time that I've already done this exam. I passed in multiple colors. Friends and family were celebrating with me, and all that and all that. So fast forward, I bounced back. I eventually passed the exam. I aced everything, and that experience didn't just help me pass the exam. It actually transformed who I am. I think since then my life has never been the same, literally. So I'm sharing my message to you guys. That's why I started this. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel, in fact, because to talk about self-awareness, talk about faith, mindset, and spiritual transformation, especially because Neville said that when you experience this thing in your life, you have to share what you've experienced with others. Let others know this is how it goes. And I just want to let you know, for everybody that's watching me right now, if you're going through a dark season, I want you to know that you can actually rise again. Okay? And thanks for watching, guys. If this message resonates with you, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, no matter where you are, the power to transform is within you, it's not outside of you. So thank you very much for listening to my story. May God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. And yeah, for those that are asking me about these books, I'll put the books link in the description below. You guys can read it. You guys can download it and read it. I have a whole playlist of Neville Goddard's book that I've used and read back to back, and that I've applied the techniques that have changed my life. And I'm pretty sure if you apply this, it will entirely change your life. And if you want to do a one-on-one coaching with me, I'm always available. I will leave my Gmail. You can message me. You can mail me, and I will respond to you guys, and we can talk on how to transform your life and how to manifest whatsoever that you desire. Thank you very much for watching this. Once again, my name is Olusegun, and on this channel, I talk about self-improvement, spirituality, self-awareness, and mindfulness. Thank you very much. Peace out.